And for those of you who had seen some of the earlier products, I will admit I'm a little off. Had an interesting conversation to say the least, but slowly chopping through the brush to get to dry land. So today I am joined by free play mode, this is the Mizzle, and we're gonna get this intro started. Joined by fullscreen.net, powering the show. Make sure you check them out. Alrighty. Shout out to Michael Hurdle of michaelhurdle.com. What you got here, gamers? I have to thank him for making this illustrious intro for the company. And I wish I actually had to definitely do some compensation for the man. But I am now in the room with free play modes, Demizzle for Rizzle. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what's going on?
All
Free
right.
play mode is taking over just like you took over my show.
Oh, what? Oh, my bad. Hey, you're making me feel. Yeah, it's all gravy.
Fading.
Man, if I didn't have any issues with like copyrights and stuff, I'd still be using that song. Do some fantastic stuff. But okay, new gaming order. Last week I took a hiatus. I was not feeling well. Had a really bad headache. Got a really bad headache today. I don't know what's going on, so I have to probably check if there's something going on in the room. But the Mizzle, what have you been up to? What you been playing?
Well, right now, as we are talking, I am playing Forza Horizon 3 on Xbox One X.
Fantastic. All right. Now, those of you who were watching my marathon stream for Quantum Break, I did a 10-hour session. Went through the whole game, straight through, got all the power-ups and all that good stuff. I mean, Quantum Break was a fantastic game. I think that me going into the game, ignoring the reviews, I found that the story was fantastic. Hell, way to go, Remedy.
I love that game. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, they shouldn't attach the TV show to it. And to an extent, I agree, but if you watch the actual TV show, it makes sense and it connects the game perfectly.
Yeah.
But they could have done what they needed to accomplish within
the game.
Right. Like, they could have done in-game cutscenes instead of producing a live-action TV show to do that.
Now, the other character, he should have been playable. Like, the fight in the hospital, the car chase scenes, like, there could have been so much more given to that, But, again, I think that the way it was told in 3 parts, from the protagonist, the antagonist, and the supporting characters in the TV show, I think it was well digestible pieces. And, the TV shows were, they got shorter as you got to the ending, And there's multiple endings, or not multiple endings, but multiple paths, So, like, I think that a Shenmue game would definitely take something cool from that. But as far as that, let's get started. In the last week, go ahead.
You mind if I adjust something right quick?
You go right ahead.
I know you and Nelson have been having a little drama and beef. And
you know what? Before we can address that at the end, because I just wanted to get the content out, but we will get to that. But not to cut you off, but it's just for.
No, it's just a quick thing.
Okay.
Both of y'all are my friends, and I hope that even though you guys are not working together anymore, that like someday you guys can just sit down, shake hands, and piece it up and just part on amicable ways,
Okay, to respond to that before we get started, as I said in my video, I don't have ill will, beef, or hate. I did make my stand that it was unprofessional how the exit happened. I was addressed by individuals mentioned in this, and I would just say, if anything, there's a thing where we maturity is it plays a big factor in it. So as far as that, in order for that to occur, I already accepted my shame and blame for whatever I did or didn't do, as far as being a leader. But accountability is 100% going to be the defining factor to fix it. You know, if I see the man in the street, I'll shake his hand. You know, like, remember me and Mike had beef, and like I'm eager to do a project with Mike. So believe me, I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. So without me having to implicate other names, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and we'll just go from there. So does that is that an adequate response, the Mizzle?
Yeah, that's a good response for me.
Okay, not a problem. All right, so edgy boy, what's going on? So got V trigger better be Tiger Shotgun or Tiger Shotgun? Shut the hell up. All right, let's start. Sakura, we saw at Capcom Cup, Ono and a Capcom team revealed Sakura with a more mature, more updated look. I would have to say that was awesome. And that's what we've been asking for. Like, we need Sakura to grow up out of the schoolgirl outfit thing. So it looks like she has a job or something, or like she had like that earpiece. Like, either she's a cop or
He's
a
an esports announcer.
hey, whatever she is, I see some cool things with that. But we got several outfits for her. But the Mizzle, when you saw the trailer, what were your initial reaction to her?
Like, I like some of the character selection
Okay.
they chose for season 3, but I'm gonna address some things after you finish up with the Street Fighter thing, because I have one Mr. Project Justice to address.
Oh, calling people out, huh? All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at the trailer really quickly. Now, with this, I have to say. Now, did they remix her theme song?
Yeah, they did.
All right. So she kind of has that Asuka look from Cross Tekken.
I like how they made, like, I wonder what they're gonna do with her and Karen's rivalry now that they're supposedly adults.
Older, yeah. But I will admit they caught that, because when I look at her, she still fights like Sakura, but like it seems as if, like with the V trigger where she can actually throw the fireball upward and kind of get like some juggles. It would be, I think that it was smart, and I think with her setup, do you think she'll have that if you build up meter, she could do like the EX cancels and all that stuff, and do like the high pressure corner game, or what?
I think with her V trigger, it looks like they're setting her up to be like her versus series self, where you can just do all kinds of stupid juggles and EX tattoos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what that came across as to me, like, especially with her vertical fireball.
Mm-hmm.
So
All
I
right.
expect a lot of people who were on Sakura back in the day in the Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 days to jump right back on Sakura, because it doesn't look like much has changed about her to
Mm-hmm.
drive people away from her.
Okay. And she's due out January 16th, if I'm not mistaken. So as I look, yeah, she looks largely unchanged for the most part, except for her
I
outfit.
also like the stage, because they threw back to the old stage
The
where,
Alpha 2.
yeah, and they even got the little brother in the background playing video games.
Uh-huh. All
That
right,
was
so
that was dope. I caught that
mm-hmm.
during the reveal trailer. I was like, I know they ain't gonna have the little brother still playing video games in the living room, and sure enough,
Uh-huh.
still playing video games in the living room.
Yeah, true that. They should have made him a little bit older, but considering now looking at V Trigger 1, now I'm trying to understand. I didn't really catch what that V Trigger was. It just says um Arashi. So it looked like she can cancel the fireball into the Shokin. But you know what? I think that as we draw closer to her release, I'm pretty sure like Vesper Arcade or Event Hubs will have more of a breakdown for her. But that's her V Trigger 1. Now the V Trigger 2, I only saw the trailer one time before. Oh wait, she has the air throw. Or is that like? Do you remember she had to do like the command jump, and then you could do like the 1, 2, 3. It looked like they gave her a throw in that. Did you catch that in the trailer?
Yeah, like she has the kickoff type throw. I saw that. That to me looks like a little bit too much. Like I don't think she needed the air throw, but I'm not a Sakura player, so if any of you Sakura players are out there, I'm gonna throw a classic Shenhua lineup out there when he used to use Balrog in Street Fighter 4. But
He
he
needed
needs
that. That's pretty funny. But I see she can do the her hurricane kick in the air now.
Well,
Yeah,
she's always been able to do the hurricane in the
but she
air.
has it like Ryu, like his low Shinku
Mhm.
hurricane kick EX. She can do that in the air, and it looked like she can throw a punch and then suck them in, and do a spin around. All right. So now they're going to Skies of Honor versus Rashid. Yeah, she looked like she has like that Cammy style command jump, or like Zeku. Like you do the command, and then you can either throw an attack or do like a throw. But all right, so we're looking at V Trigger 2 here. Now that's what we were talking about, the vertical fireball, which can juggle. So she did through it, did the hurricane kick, and then did another attack, keeping them in the air. Interesting. Now, Demizo, question for you. Like, since you took like a indefinite break from Street Fighter 5, do you see yourself, testing out Sakura when this does drop?
Like I usually like I'm not on an indefinite hiatus. That was more set out of anger than anything. I'm more like I'll jump on with some friends and play a few rounds here and there to
Oh,
see if
she.
anything changed. But like, and if friends come over, we'll fire it up and play.
Uh
But
huh.
that's kind of my general point of contention right now. It doesn't do
Mhm.
enough to keep me consistently playing, but
Okay.
if season 3 improves a lot of the faults that I have with the game, then I'll come back on a more regular basis. But
Mhm.
right now, my play with Street Fighter 5 is extremely casual at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And shout out to Michael Hurdle. He was talking about something on his show where with the whole setup and how the game is, it just I don't know. It just doesn't feel Street Fighter esque to me. There was just some changes that were just like loss of proximity attacks. Some of the invincible wake ups. Not everybody has, but like Ken needed that. I can see them taking it from Ryu, but like Ken needed that. He's Dragon Punch Man. You know, so I think that there was just some things that were just off putting. Like if it was in majority of Street Fighter games, then you move that mechanic, it changes things. It loses its feel, and at the core of it, it's trying to be Street Fighter in cosplay, so to speak. But Project Justice, please don't put me in the guillotine for this one. It's just how I feel about it. All right, but Demizo, can you add to that?
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go into like a like mini rant aimed at Project Justice and this Facebook group that I'm in, the Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition group that is called.
Mm-hmm. I think
Like,
I got banned from one of the groups based off of a disagreement or so.
This
But
this probably gonna get me banned, but like the game is fundamentally broken. Like there are just so many things wrong with it, top to bottom, from a gameplay standpoint and how you go about progression through the game.
mm-hmm.
Because the main point of contention is that the amount of effort that you have to put, they're like, oh, well, if you don't want to pay for stuff, you can earn it through fight money. And
It's hard to come by.
right, like even with the weekly missions and all that stuff, there's a thread on Reddit that did the calculation of how much fight money you need to get in order to earn everything that is currently out now, minus like profile pictures and titles. You need over 5 million fight money to get everything. And the progression is so slow. Like it turns off like casual players like me, because I admit readily 100% I'm not an esporter. I'm not looking to be the best online warrior ever. I'm garbage by most standards in Street Fighter 5. I just play the game to have fun, but I don't feel that I should be forced. Like I'm essentially being punished for not being an online warrior and a grinder and investing insane amounts of time to earn everything.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas someone like some of those people in that Street Fighter 5 group, including Project Justice, are willing to spend hours and hours and hours and hours grinding away and waiting for every little drop of fight money, like, oh, you should have watched the Capcom Pro Tour this weekend. You could have got 32,000 fight money. Excuse the fuck out of me. I was in Richmond chilling with my friends. I got a social life. I can't afford to be sitting around at my computer hoping and praying that Capcom blesses me with fight money. Fuck all that shit.
Whoa, damn. Oh, pop off. Well, I think didn't Star Wars Battlefront suffer from this thing?
That's another point that I attempted to make, but it was falling on deaf ears. EA just got roasted for that shit with Star Wars Battlefront 2 because the progression system was so slow. It was like, yeah, you could technically earn stuff.
It'd take 2 years to get the whole thing.
It would take 2+ years at the rate of progression to earn everything in Star Wars Battlefront. That should not be. If you want to make the shit DLC and have people pay for it, I'm all for that. No problem with it. If I feel that the content is worth it, I'll pay the money for it, and I'll suffer the consequences if it's not. But don't dangle the carrot in front of me like, look, you can earn this for free. You're just gonna get like 150 fight money every time you win. And that's the thing, you have to win. You just don't get fight money for participation. You have to win matches online, be it ranked or casual. You can't just participate, you have to win. So if some dude like me is like, oh, I'm just trying to have fun, now I have to kick it up a notch just to be competitive in order to earn this little bit of little fuckity fuck fight money.
You know what? That's a podcast in itself. Hell, you know what? If you do that on free play mode, I would definitely be a guest. So I'm just giving you an idea because, all things considered, because like Sakura with all her outfits, not all of them are gonna come standard. I'm pretty sure
you're gonna have to spend like 40,000 just on a premium outfit, and that's the non-paid, like the non-$5 outfit.
Yeah, man, because some of it's gonna be going to fund the Capcom Pro Tour 2018, but I mean,
and that's the problem. Capcom went after the few thousand people that want to be like grinding it out in online words. The people that see themselves as the next Knuckle Dude or the next Sonic Fox or the next Justin Wong, and they just bypass the millions and millions of people like me who just want to come home, maybe run through an arcade mode and feel like they're getting somewhere for an hour or two, and then just turn the game off. and feel like they accomplished something.
Mm.
Like, there's millions of people like me who have either put down a game entirely or play sparingly, and they wonder why there's less than 50,000 active players, whereas every other fighting game out there, King of Fighters, Tekken 7, Killer Instinct, Guilty Gear XRD Rev 2, their player base is steadily growing, and Street Fighter V's player base is steady to decline, and they wonder the fuck why.
Yeah, there's more to it than just that, you know. But we shall see in time. But you know, just to reel it back in, because the Mizzle like was going like Pitbull style, and I had to pull the leash. Like, don't hurt him, son. Don't hurt him. But you know, and referring back to Sakura's residence, you know, you did make mention to the Easter egg with the little sibling playing in the background. Now I can't zoom in with XSplit right now, but if you can see in the on the stream, they have a different angle of the stage. It looks pretty cool, you know. So obviously she's fighting out of Japan, correct?
Right.
Okay, so I do want to see more stages, like, you know, something in Egypt in front of the Sphinx or a pyramid or something. You know, I think it's gonna be some cool stuff. I'm going to watch the season 3 for Sakura and Flake. Not sure I'm going to go out of my way to get them though. Well, I think it's a cool thing, you know, that they like Flake. I'm interested in, but we're gonna actually look at that trailer in a little bit. But you know, just looking at you know, the photos scans brought to you by EventHubs.com. No, wait a minute. That karate gi outfit, the battle costume, was that from what Street Fighter was that from?
She didn't wear a gi in any Street Fighter game.
Oh, so this is just an extra.
Yeah, like in every Street Fighter game, she's worn like the Japanese schoolgirl outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a pretty big departure for the character in terms of how she's being presented overall.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like, and if they have a traditional karate gi outfit, that would mean like she's a kind of a more serious martial artist.
Yeah.
You can see her hits hit harder in this version of her.
Yeah. Her gloves look closer to what Ryu's Street Fighter 5 gloves and Street Fighter 3 gloves look like. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, interesting. But I'm really digging her new outfit. You know, I wonder how old they're portraying her to be in this, as opposed to.
She's supposed to be the same age as Karen, so I imagine like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, and Karen freaking like running a Saibatsu and stuff. It had an alternate where she was in a school shirt and Blossom.
I remember reading her Street Fighter 4.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like a gym teacher and shit.
Yeah. All right. Oh, now one thing I guess before we go into the season 3 characters, Capcom put the whole gamut out there. They're not letting you guess. You know. So first, I don't know if it will be in this order, but you have Sakura, who's coming out January 16th. Blanca, my original main in Street Fighter 4, is coming back. I'm wondering what he will play like, because I know that he initially wasn't on the roster because he would play a little bit too much like Nakali. If you hold back forward, he'll do the roll. Nakali, same input, will do his like claw slash forward, and then going upwards, that's like Blanca's vertical roll. So how would it, you know, I think this is going to be interesting to say the least. I'm disappointed that E Honda didn't make it, because he was part of the original 12, right? He's the last. So maybe we might see him in season 4, or maybe Sodom or whatnot. But Blanca is confirmed to be coming back. And Flake. Now here's the thing. She's one of like Ed's cohorts, right? But
right.
Somebody's saying that she's one of these Psycho Dolls. I don't know. Like,
I think they're gonna do it up like she's in the similar situation that he was, where he was incubated and grown, and I imagine, like, judging from just basic stuff about her. It looks like I think they're gonna do her in a similar manner,
Mm-hmm.
like
Interesting.
former Shadow Low products.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that.
Okay. Bet. Now, going to Cody. Now, this I'm gonna say
I have a theory about Cody.
I think that Hagar has since retired or left office, and he's the new mayor of Metro City.
No, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction of that.
What?
I think he's the boss of the Magyar gang.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
That would be
He,
dope.
the thing that, or the gang he was trying to dismantle, he joins it. What is he, Gabriel Belmont or something, like, becoming Dracula? I'm like, come on, man. That would be an interesting twist because he has a Geese Howard look to him.
See, I think that he's become the Mad Gear boss because
He's
show
dressed
him-
like Belger a little bit.
Like they show him breaking out of prison, and they show him like suited up and stuff.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
he was- like I don't think he would be the mayor. Another thing that I caught, like a subtle hint in the
Uh-huh.
Cody trailer, is that if he would have been the mayor, they would have had like an office background.
Oh, like the intro of Final Fight.
Right, but they had like police lights flashing just briefly.
Yeah.
So
He might be a cop or something now. Who knows? Like undercover.
So I just think like it was one of those. If you can't beat him, join him, and he ended up taking over the Mad Gear game.
No, I hope that's not the case. I hope that he's returned
'Cause you
to be
think
the
about it,
hero of Metro City. You know?
Like no, but that's the thing. If you read all of Cody's bios, he feels unappreciated as the quote unquote hero of Metro City. Like
Yeah,
God.
he saved Metro City in 1992,
Yeah, but,
bro.
But like everybody hates him now because he's like
No, he kept fighting. That was on him. That's
Right.
the way that they wrote the
he
story.
kept fighting and he lost Jessica and he lost.
No, she left. She left him because he kept fighting. Like, and she
Right.
got remarried. She married somebody or whatever. She moved on. So it's
Right.
like,
And like his rival is more revered than he is. Even
Guy?
though even though he's like been a crime fighter and just kept fighting because he just didn't know what to do with himself. What better way to complete the transformation than
don't
to-
say that.
Dude,
That's like
I would
Ryu switching places with Akuma, or he kills Akuma finally, and then
But
he
that would be
becomes
that would be like the natural progression for Ryu, believe it or not.
what? Hold on, like, and Mel Masters has to beat him. Like Ryu kills Ken, and then he's just like, "Oh yeah, you gotta turn to the dark side or something, and just
No,
have a
like-
vicious loop."
Because like Akuma is ultimately not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just interested in finding out who's the strongest. He's just out to fight people. He
Mhm.
wants to be the strongest fighter.
Yeah, Bison is bad. Vega, he's bad.
Yeah,
he
he's
wants
not-
world domination.
Akuma is not an inherently bad person.
Hmm.
Like, and I think the same is with Ryu. Like, he is not an inherently bad person. He doesn't see himself as an inherently good person either. He just sees himself as wanting to find out who the strongest fighter is and constantly test himself. So that's why I see Ryu. Well, that's why I say like Ryu becoming more and more Akuma-like is the natural progression for him, because he has nothing tying himself to anybody. Like,
Yeah.
his closest friend is Ken, who lives in America and has a life of his own. Whereas
True.
Ryu is just a wandering warrior.
But Ken always has a way of finding him, bro. I don't know how he does it.
Got them satellites just tracking him down.
Dang. All right. But for time's sake, G, or AKA Gold, he's supposed to be a presidential character, like an Uncle Sam type thing. My theory with him, I think it's different. Some people thought that that's Q before he becomes Q, or mutilated or something. Shimar and I were discussing that. That'd be interesting if this is, we don't know anything about Q and we don't know anything about G. So, like, okay, what's going on here? But that's probably far fetched. But what are your thoughts on this top hat circus ringleader looking character?
A lot of people think he's the top hat dude from Balrog stage and Street
N-
Fighter 2.
What, the one with the megaphone?
Yeah.
No, you know what? Because that guy, he was like a black guy, or like a Hispanic guy, and he was in like the story mode with the remember when Alex, Laura, Zangief, and Armika are in the ring? If they're referring to that guy with the top hat, I think they're wrong.
I don't think it's that guy. I think it's just like
One of them.
Yeah, go back to the Street Fighter 2 stage and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Ah, okay. Now it's cool that they had a mix. Like there's 2 brand new characters and you got 4 returning. You know, so I hope that G comes in with a fresh playset similar to freaking Ed. I like his style. You know what I mean? He's not like, you can't just go in there playing him like a regular, Street Fighter character. He's all inputs. So I think he can, learn a little bit from that too. But last but not least, the king has returned. Sagat.
King got broke the fuck up.
Oh man, I'm surprised Ryu didn't put another scar on the other direction and give him an X on his chest. X is gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. Let me stop. Dang.
Like, yo, they did Sagat mad dirty.
He got hit in the mouth, bro. I was like,
He got hit in the chest and the mouth.
And the funny thing about it, I bet you the in game won't look like that. The in game will that.
I know it won't, but still, the
graphics look. The CG was pretty cool on it. Yeah, but he did the tiger uppercut. But you know what? There's no evidence of a tiger shot. You know what I mean? So
I'm sure they're not gonna take away his fireball.
I think it's gonna be part of his V trigger, where he can't spam it. Well, remember my interview with Li Joe, and we were up at Comic-Con 2017, and he said that's the prevailing rumor. There may be Sagat coming with, he probably will have other moves to compensate, or have more traditional Muay moves. Probably like a running clinch and, do like a bunch of knees to the face or something. But, we see the tiger uppercut will be there, but he might lose his tiger knee. Maybe he'll have like the tiger genocide as a regular input move, So what are your thoughts?
Like, if they take away his fireball, they better speed him up, because his fireball was one of the ways he got in. Like, he would...
Got in or keep people out?
Yeah, like, he would have no way to keep people out, because all he would have is an anti-air if they just kept him with the tiger uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
However, like, they need some way for him to get in if they're going to take away his fireball.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like a feint where he's gonna run in like Dudley, like how you could duck in. I think that he'll probably be able to do like a feint and clinch and do like traditional like Tong Po knees and whatnot. But yeah, they gotta explain why he left Shadowloo, obviously. And we thought that Sagat was dead, because it's like if you leave Shadowloo or something in the story mode that you're dead or whatever. So I think if they do a story mode season 2 or 2.0, they should have a story explaining what's happening with these characters and how that fills the void between this and Street Fighter 3. What do you think about that, Demizo?
I would rather them not.
Really?
Do a story mode for Street Fighter, because the first one was just so bad.
You think it was that bad? I thought it was cool. I
Dude,
mean,
it was like Street Fighters Unite, destroy Shadowloo.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah. I got it. It's like, yeah, everybody. It was like a cartoon. So that ain't more than a cartoon trying to be serious.
It was the bad version of the Street Fighter 2 cartoon.
What? The Street Fighter 2 cartoon was craptastic. Oh my god, it was terrible.
That's what I like in that too. And what they should do is just tell a story through the course of the arcade mode, like they used to. Like, hey, do your 10 fights, like sub boss has a little story to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then your pre-boss like has a little story to it. Then the final boss has a story to it. Then you have the ending. explaining the rest of the stuff.
Okay, I think that is cool. That is cool. But the arcade mode, they actually had some screens on what the versus screen is gonna look like and all that. But I think we veered off of the Sakura thing. But it's just kind of like all encompassing. So I'll probably break this up into Street Fighter content and then go into the PlayStation Experience stuff. But so far, Sakura looks fantastic. I am very content with her look. I'm very happy with Cody's look, looking like Geese Howard from Art of Fighting 2.
Telling you, he's gonna be bad.
Oh man, don't say that, bro. I'm knocking on wood when it comes to that. But with that being said, let me pull up the trailer, the opening trailer, to get your thoughts on it while we have it in the background. But Demizzle, you saw the trailer, right? Now, what are some things that stood out for you as it was being revealed?
The lack of Ken love. That's what stood
out.
Oh
yeah, a lot of people were like, "What the heck?" Like,
everybody got some play, but no Ken whatsoever.
yeah. I was like, wow.
Yo, they did Ken 100% dirty.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. That was
But like, I liked how they were doing like the whole set piece type thing.
Okay, explain.
Like, you know how like when they were revealing like everybody was on set and they had their kind of background.
Yeah. That was well played. That was well played.
I thought that was pretty dope.
Okay.
Also, like that, as you said, they revealed all the characters instead of doing we're gonna hide everybody behind silhouettes. So you can make a choice immediately, like, hey, I want to invest the money.
Yeah.
3 characters, or like, I don't want to be bothered with them. So it's good on Capcom for doing that.
Slinky Jim is like, Ken is probably with Barbie. Dang.
How you gonna play Ken like that, Slinky? Come on.
Wow. Dang. All right, go ahead, Divizzle. My bad.
I did like how they spotlighted the new characters. Like we were talking before, like they spotlighted the change in Cody. I like that. I like how they spotlighted the change in Sagat, because you see he's like a little bit more mature. He's got on like ripped pants now and not shorts. Kind of shows that he's kind of into a semi-retirement life and not like an active fighter anymore.
And he also sports more scars on his body. Look like he's probably wrestling with tigers, like that. Yeah, like lions and tigers and bears. Like what?
Well, to be fair, like I'm just joking around with the Ken stuff, but a couple of characters they didn't spotlight, like they didn't spotlight Armika or Zangief.
Yeah.
I think they should have spotlighted Blanca a little bit more instead of just running through the jungle with Sakura.
Yeah, he did look kind of funny. Like, I'm going to that right now. He looks like something out of a Disney Pixar.
Like, I think they should have did like a whole Dan and Blanca thing, because Dan is Blanca's friend. And
yeah.
Like even though Dan, Blanca, and Sakura roll together, it's more of a Dan and Blanca relationship than a Sakura and Blanca relationship.
Okay, got it. But you see, in this scan right here, he looked like he went Super Saiyan level 3.
The hair,
it's man long, and then his forearms are extra hairy, bro. Like, come on.
I know that's Ono's favorite character, but come on, let's be real, Ono. Let's scale back Blanca a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a nostalgia outfit and such. But all things considered, here's another scan of Gold or G. Now, here's the thing. Like, I want to know more about him.
Like, they show him in like a Vegas like background. So that's what leads me to believe he's the top hat dude.
Okay. Oh my god, I foresee Sagat stage from Street Fighter 2 making it, because as you see in the stream, you see the iconic Tiger uppercut and Ryu versus the Shoryuken, and you have the statue in the background.
That's another thing that I hope they have Like, you know how Ryu used to have the fake fireball? Well, Ken and Ryu used to have the fake fireball in Alpha.
Yeah.
I think I may be wrong, but they may be giving Ryu a fake Shoryuken, because you see how he did the
His arm is hooked in, right?
right, and he started to do it. Then Sagat went up with the tiger, and then he kind of spun around, and then immediately went up for the Shoryuken.
Yeah, that tapped him in his chest. All right. Now, hold on. I see. I don't want to hear people complaining about Sagat zoning them, or out damaging them like he's known to do in almost every incarnation. They asked for this, just like Dante and Marvel vs. Capcom. Okay. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If Sagat is gonna be implemented, I feel that maybe he will be put in a way where it will accommodate, the folks that complained about him being overpowered in Street Fighter 4, and then if L.I. Joe is correct, his tiger shots are gonna be in the V trigger. I think that's the only way they can keep it from being like a spammable circumstance. But damn, Sagat looks kind of old though. Like they kind of did his muscle proportions a certain way, but when you see him with that tiger shot, it looked like time and age is catching up with the man.
There's a way to do the tiger shot without it being complete spammy and zony. Just take away one of the tiger shots. Like, don't give him a high and a low one.
But then it makes him no different from Ryu, Ken, Guile. The ones with the traditional things.
No, but if you take away the low, you can easily go over that, because the tiger shot has traditionally had a long startup and a long after effect.
Okay.
So it leaves them open.
All right.
And if you take away the if you just give them the high, you can just like with some characters, they're short enough to just walk under that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So taking away his fireball is not the answer. Just limiting it in some way.
True. Now, T-Riz is saying, but that's what he's known for. You're taking something away from his iconic gameplay. I agree because like with Guile, like if you took away the Sonic Boom and made it something like, like the Sonic Slice or his V skill. Imagine if the Sonic Boom didn't travel, and it's just like Sonic Boom, and he held it and it spun right in front of him like the Sonic Hurricane, and dissipated.
That's how I felt when they put Ken and Marvel vs. Capcom.
Superheroes
versus Street Fighter. They like limited his fireball and made it like dams, and I'm like, come on, bro. Ken's had his fireball since the beginning,
and then his Hurricane kick was vastly altered. I thought that was cool though, because as you see evidence of how they changed his heavy Hurricane kick to the inverted reverse.
I'm not mad at that, because they needed some way to differentiate him from Ryu.
Yeah,
and
true.
Vertical Hurricane kick seems more up his alley, since he's more of an aerial fighter.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I'm looking at some of the little nuances with Sagat. He has the tape, the loose tape around his shin and his hands, but he has the I guess the Muay Thai ropes around his bicep and tricep, like your average, unbox style, Adon setup. Which reminds me, I wonder if Adon will ever rear his head again.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't see that.
All right. Just taking another look at, okay. And for those of you just joining, Demizo's theory is that Cody has not the mayor, but actually the leader of Mad Gear. I hope that's not the case.
Either a leader or a top-ranking official.
I don't know about that. It's an interesting theory, to say the least, but if Demizo, if you jinx this, man, I'm gonna be like, we're coming for free play mode, jiggers. No,
dude, I want to be right on this. I 100% want to be right.
I have to be like, Demizo, if you jinxed us and Cody is like bad, That would be terrible. But you know what? I noticed he has a look like Ed. Like I think it's gonna be Ed's model to facilitate Cody's gameplay. You know, but we
Hmm.
shall see. We shall see. But like I'm gonna run the trailer for you guys to check out. You know, I'm gonna have to break it up into little pieces because YouTube is all up New Gaming Orders behind when it comes to that. You play something and like Capcom's just like, yeah, about to hit you with a copyright strike. Like what? But overall, we only saw glimpses of Balrog in his Street Fighter 2 outfit. You know, but here's my thing. For extra DLC and extra modes, what else would you like to see in Street Fighter 5, Demizzle, that we don't have at the ready?
Honestly, I would like to see a rebalancing of the progression system.
Progression system?
Like like I said earlier, like when you play the game, you
Mm-hmm.
should you should be rewarded for playing the game. You shouldn't be punished for being a certain type of player. Like for instance, I'm gonna bring up Killer Instinct because I played Killer Instinct like a fish in water. Love that game.
Yeah.
And say if I wanted to just get all the colors with Jago,
Yeah, yeah.
I could play any mode in the game with Jago to my heart's desire. Like I could level up Jago to level 50,
Mm-hmm.
unlock all his character parts and all his colors. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not punished for playing that way. I
Okay.
could similarly play story mode with Jago and earn stuff that way. Like there is no wrong way to play the game.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
They
That's
need to, they need to rebalance the system because they need to stop limiting the ways you can earn fight money in Marvel in Street Fighter 5 because
now you do know that's kind of like okay. This is a consistent revenue
but that's
bringer
the
for
problem.
yeah. That's what it turned into a service, not the
That's
experience
the problem.
anymore.
Nobody's buying their service because Street Fighter 5 has lost so many players because they don't feel like they're getting their money's worth. Because
Mm-hmm.
you have to consistently put out money because like the hardcore of the hardcore are gonna keep
Mm-hmm.
grinding to that progression system, whereas people like me, like, oh, I don't have time to do that. You know how
Mhm.
much you have to spend in real world money to get everything?
What in Street Fighter 5 up until
Yeah.
this point? How much?
$121.
And it's gonna only go up because this game is supposed to get support until 2020, if I'm not mistaken. It's a long haul. It's a long haul.
So it's like, why should someone who's grinding all the time be rewarded with a cheaper game, whereas someone who wants to be a fan of your game is punished by having to pay 3 times the amount of what the game is worth to get all the content?
This is true. Now, I did see Shinraven said that G is the new Q. Now, how do we know this? That's what he's known for. Okay, a service with no customer service. I like that. I like that. That's just very true. This is very true, T-Rex. Like, I hope Demizo, when you address Project Justice later, or if I just hope that it's like not a blind defense of the game. Like, I just think Street Fighter was turned into a way to just keep their syringes in people, So, I mean, it is what it is. But T-Rex said, least taking 2 years for that $120. It took Marvel vs. Capcom 2 months before that game came to 60. Well, that is true, sir. That is true. He is not telling a lie. But you know what? I noticed with the intro, this is not in-game stuff. Just to kind of get people's appetite wet for the game.
Like another thing that I wish that they would do. I hate to be bringing up Killer Instinct again, but with every season of Killer Instinct, they've steadily increased the graphics. They've made the graphics better, and that's something I wish Street Fighter 5 would do. Like they could easily like I know this may be petty, but a lot of people's chief complaint is the hair in the game. The hair just looks unnatural.
Yeah, like Ken looks terrible. It looked like bananas.
Ken and Laura and freaking even Ryu's hair. It doesn't look like it would be part of some.
And it's not like they don't have a budget. Sony's backing them, so it's like, come on now. Capcom Pro Tour, all the sponsors, like, yeah, make the game look good. Killer Instinct right now, that Injustice, and I think even would dare say MKX. They are probably the best looking fighters right now.
Like Killer Instinct came out in 2003, and it is still the best looking fighting game of this console generation, and that's because they put in the time and dedication to make it look.
But what about Guilty Gear?
Like Guilty Gear is great. I love how Guilty Gear looks, but Killer Instinct looks amazing. And when you put Killer Instinct in 4K, it looks like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was blown away, and when I put it in the Xbox One X, I'm like, holy cow! Like you could see it, because what I did, I actually unplugged it and plugged it through the router, the splitter, and I mean, I lost a lot of fidelity. And even when you do like the little test thing, like that little app, you can actually see HDR, 4K, 1080p. Like to the naked eye, the untrained eye, you actually really have to look, but the differences are there. It's amazing. It's amazing to say the least. So G kicked M Bison's ass for 7 years ago. Really? Why no PC love? I don't know.
I have it on the
I
PC.
played it.
That's where I mainly play Street Fighter 5. So
yeah, Guilty Gear has an amazingly stylized presentation and does it. Yeah, Guilty Gear actually is the closest thing to actual controllable anime. That's the first.
Dragon Ball Fighters comes out.
But then again, look who made it, the Arc Systems, you know.
But yeah, like that's where I play my fighting games by and large, with the exception of Killer Instinct, is on the PC. So
yeah, Killer Instinct is crossplay though, like between it's on the UDP.
So mad love to the PC. T-Risk.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. And you might be right. He might be a character from G might be one of the guys from Balrog Stage. There's gonna be good stuff. Now, Abigail Stage, is he gonna get a new stage? No. I think he's.
So. I hope so.
No, that Bay Area was dope. I'm glad that.
No, like if they're going with the
oh, wait a minute! No, Dave. I'm looking at the trailer. Cody leaves the striped outfit in that jail cell, and he's coming out with the suit. We're taking a look right now. Yep, and they got the spotlight on the jumpsuit. So I think that he's just like turning a new leaf, and he's gonna run Metro City where Hagar leaves off.
I want him to be bad.
Bad to the bone. And then that's a tribute to his Final Fight intro. Alright.
Because that would be like him cleaning up would be so against type for him, you know?
No, but yo, dude, Cody looks like freaking Geese mother freaking Howard, bro. I want to know what his playstyle is going to be like.
Stand up, get down.
Yeah, but damn, that is a major change. Like, obviously he's older, from criminal upper to political upper. Wow, Cody's gonna be Cody Trump. Dang, beating up people in
Metro City great again.
Wow, you know what? I can see the memes coming now, man. Young Donald Trump, aka Cody Travers, Final Fight. Well, that's not even canon, Final Fight Streetwise. But here's the thing, Capcom. You got Cody in there. You must bring Guy. But you know what? This is probably... Zeku.
You don't need Guy.
But story purposes, brother. You know. Because think about it. Like, you got...
I'm sure they're going to have some kind of storyline interaction between Cody and Zenku.
Okay, but damn, it's a crying shame that Hagar still has not made an appearance in Street Fighter.
He needs to.
He'll play different.
that is like the one character that I've been like wishing and hoping was in a Street Fighter game since like Street Fighter Alpha, cause like every other main Final Fight character has been in a Street Fighter game. You got Cody, Guy, you got
Maki, yeah.
You got Sodom, you got Valento.
Oh, why he said who gave Justin Bieber a suit? He doesn't look like no Justin Bieber. Don't say that.
Baby.
Don't say that, Rich and Raven. That's messed up. Wow. Nah, I'm telling you, go play Art of Fighting 2 and look at Geese Howard as the boss. That's Cody right there.
But yeah, like they need Hazard. And like you can differentiate him from Zangief pretty easily.
Yeah, because look at how he plays in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. You know,
just like I know a lot of people haven't played this game, but Saturday Night Slam Masters 2 is more of a fighting game than Hagar. And you can easily do that for him. Like his moves are so much different than Zangief's in that game.
Yeah, true. Yo, I'm surprised he didn't rip his chest open again, yo. Come on. Capcom, that was wrong. You want to make Sagat look strong in his return.
Sagat great again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but Cody does look tough. I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, as you can see, Sagat is eating that one. You know what? He got hit with that uppercut looking like Fight Night round 3 on the 360 and PlayStation 3.
Hold that.
Yeah, like the face rupturing and stuff. Like, oh my god, this is crazy. But oh my gosh, I can't wait to see how they do this. Now, Cody's theme song, I hope that it's similar to his Street Fighter 4 theme, not the Alpha 3. Or they could do it like Balrog, where they mix the Alpha theme and the Street Fighter 2 theme into one song, like on the breakdown. Alex from Third Strike, you know, how they did the Subway theme. That would be pretty cool also.
You know what theme would be perfect for Cody? The intro stage to Final Fight. Like da-da-da-da.
Oh, that's Guy's theme though. That's if I remember. Yeah, that's Guy's theme. But you know what? I'm thinking too. Now that you brought up Saturday Night Slam Masters, there's some characters in there that should show up in Street Fighter, like Oni, Biff, Gunlock. You know, Scorpion, like Alexander the Greater. You know, they had some cool characters, and Capcom has a whole universe they can kind of dabble around with, and add more wrestlers and more grapplers to the game with unique gameplay. You know, your thoughts, Demizzle?
I think definitely add some more grapplers because like typical fighting games these days have at least like 3 or 4 grapplers in the mix.
Alright.
Adding more would not be a stretch. I'd love to see like Zangief and Mika and Hagar, and maybe like a greater type character from Slam Masters, as you said, or Laura's like a quasi grappler, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
But not really. Like, yeah, she does jitsu, but it's kind of an exaggerated version of it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see like a purely MMA style fighter, you know?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that eventually. Abel was supposed to be that kind of answer, like the Ken Shamrock style, you know?
Like there's an MMA style fighter in Dead or Alive 5 that I think would be the perfect template.
She's great. Yeah, bro, she's fantastic. I forget her name. I haven't played Dead or Alive in a while. I might put that in Friday Night Fights for rotation. But all right, cool. But for the sake of time, I'm actually going to push through with the intro. But for you guys that actually you know, saw the PlayStation experience, I actually want to touch on that briefly. Yeah, Mia, if it was 2 L's. But
she's not Spanish, so it's just Miller.
I know. You know what? I don't know. I'm around Hispanic folks nowadays, and I'm just like, you know, falling into the, you know, saying words similar. But Black Widow from Slam Masters would be nice too. Was she? That was the Octopus character, right? Okay, bet. But you know what? That character was a little too exaggerated for, I think, what Street Fighter would be going for. I think like Oni definitely, Biff, Gunlock, Grader, and there was that other dude that looked like Blanca. He could be in there, but it is what it is. But we're gonna shift gears, and this is just gonna serve as the PSA section. But the PlayStation experience, Demizzle, I'm pretty sure you heard some of the feedback pertaining to it. I'm actually trying to pull up the reference to it now, but did you see the PlayStation experience, first of all?
A lot of people felt it was kind of underwhelming.
Okay. Shinwar and myself, we were watching it, and it was a lot of E3 trailers in there.
Before we get into that, like, I want to harken back to the podcast we did earlier, because I told you, I was like, just wait, don't get too excited.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I say about Soul Calibur 5 and Devil May Cry 5?
Oh, you know what? I will say this. I'm going to give Demizzle that. I was concerned that Soul Calibur and was going to be exclusive. I was ranting, hooting, hollering, and thankfully that is not the case. It will come out on all major platforms, to include the Xbox One. So
and Steam.
and Steam. So which is
and Devil May Cry 5 is going to be out on all platforms too, because they wouldn't be re-releasing the HD collection on all platforms if they weren't going to bring Devil May Cry 5 to all platforms.
But think about this. Look at that with the fiasco with Street Fighter. You still have the 30th anniversary collection coming out on the Xbox One, but still no Street Fighter 5. It doesn't mean anything.
Like, I honestly think this is a knee-jerk reaction by Capcom in releasing the 30th anniversary edition with all versions of Street Fighter, because they're not making any money off of Street Fighter 5. They're not selling copies like they want to. Like, you can go down to Best Buy or GameStop or what have you and pick up a copy of Street Fighter 5 on PlayStation 4 for $15. I
saw it for $5 somewhere, like brand new.
These aren't like used copies; these are brand new copies, because Sony and Capcom overestimated the popularity of Street Fighter, and they ship these stores like thousands and thousands and thousands of units, and they can't get rid of them.
Yeah, true. And I have to keep my dog from making noise. Sorry about that, audience. But with that, we're on our last segment of the show. Sony fans got a bit bored at the PlayStation experience. As you know, the PlayStation experience is tied in with Capcom Cup. And for those of you that saw the grand final for Capcom Cup, shout out to Mena RD. He cracked the code to Takedo's seemingly undefeatable Akuma. That I was rooting for that man. I was like, damn. In their first fight, I think Takedo got lucky. And Mena RD, he was just like, he should have won that first set. But then when he fought Takedo the second time, I said, Shinwar, Mena RD is going to win. He's going to beat him. And lo and behold, he did. That was a hype moment. Those of you who missed it, I would say go check it out. It was fan-freaking-tastic to commemorate the PlayStation experience. So shout out to Mena RD from the Dominican Republic, PJ's brother. Let's go. So with that,
takeaway from the PlayStation experience is that they are desperate to move PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it is like, I'm not the biggest proponent of buying VR, but if you have a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro, like, now is the time to get VR, because you can get it for $200 with Gran Turismo Sport.
Now, how does that work with like the VR? And so you're just gonna be in the car and driving around? Yeah, sorry, guys, my dog is biting the hell out of me right now, so I'm trying to keep him quiet before I spank him.
Like, it'll be a cockpit mode, and you'll be looking around and see the
inside of the car and stuff.
Right.
All right. Now, I would say the PlayStation VR is not bad. It's just a low-grade version of VR.
I agree
because
it's not bad, but for the
because
price that they wanted originally for it, like $400 just for the VR setup with no move controllers and $500 with the bundle, I
hmm
was like, hell no.
yeah,
But now
it's
that it's
actually cheaply made in comparison to the HTC and the
and the
Oculus
Oculus
Rift.
Rift,
Yeah.
yeah. And at the time, I was like, hell no, don't get that.
hmm
But now that it's like $200 and they're trying to give it away, essentially,
hmm
yo, if you want VR, the time to get it is now.
hmm All right. Now with that, and hold on, I'm gonna change the track real quick, and my dog is gonna get the fire smacked out of him, trying to mess up the show. But with that, the PlayStation experience, right?
Mhm.
I think that Sony is very good at smoke and mirrors because I don't feel that they use Hideo Kojima and Death Stranding as the anchor for the show. Now, the creator of the PlayStation Experience event, he's no longer with the company, right? And it shows, And I think that what was occurring, that I think that Sony was just trying to fill and find things to excite the fans. And when Kojima came out, I was watching it on Maximilian streams, and it's funny. You have people like having orgasms in the chat, and Maximilian's just like, "Oh, okay, stop it. You're overhyping this thing. There was
Yeah,
no gameplay."
that's another thing. Like Death Stranding, like I know tons and tons of Metal Gear fans and Sony fans. They're like, "Oh my god, that was so amazing!"
Yeah, they're having orgasms.
Like,
They're like, "Oh," like what?
so then I go like, "Yo, tell me what you just saw." Cause I want to be excited, but tell me what you just saw.
Exactly.
Explain it to me.
Yeah.
And they cannot tell me. Like I have watched 3 trailers for this game, and no one can tell me what it's about, what the objective is.
It looks like it's an astronaut in a dream world or some sort of illusion or mirage, and he has a baby in his throat or something. Like it's weird.
Or any kind of gameplay. Nobody. Like that's the thing when they.
But you know what? That's majority. Like with the exception of the informed PlayStation user base, like Sony knows how to put things in front of their audience, and they go like, I'm nutting, like
That's the thing that got me when I was watching the Video Game Awards too, when they showed this thing,
and everybody's like doing backflips,
like,
and
oh my god, that's the greatest thing ever. And then what I found extremely funny is that even Norman Reedus, who is the star of this game, is like, he said it jokingly, but I guarantee you he was 100% serious. He's like, I have no idea what I just saw.
Yep, they're sitting on the panel and like,
yes.
yeah,
finally somebody said it.
Yeah, I mean, but they're like, oh yeah, one day you'll understand what that scene, like when you play the game, you'll understand it. Like, I get it, but you want to make sure.
Like, I don't want to play the game to get it. I want you to excite me. Show me something that will explain to me what I am seeing.
Yeah, true.
Like,
And Slinky Jim is like powered like the Matrix. What?
Like, show me a clear vision. You show me NBA 2K game, I'm seeing basketball. You show me a Mario game, I know that's a platformer with Mario in it. You show me a Sonic game, unfortunately, you're gonna show me a shitty Sonic game. I know what the fuck I'm looking at. I do not know what the fuck I'm looking at when I see those trailers.
Yeah, not only that, I did notice that, like, when they were showing like trailers for Cross Battle, Arc Systems, Tag Fighter, it was the same trailer from E3. Maximilian called them out on it. It's like, okay, bet. But at the end of the day, well, you know what? Slinky Jim's like, I felt Snake for some reason. I don't think you felt Snake. You felt, I guess, his narrative style. Death Stranding needs to be a success. It has to be a success.
I'm sure, like, this is the thing. I'm sure all the Kojima supporters and Sony fanboys out there, they're gonna rush and buy this thing. It's gonna sell millions and millions. I guarantee you, if nothing else, it's gonna be one of PlayStation 4's top selling games.
Well,
based on the strength of that alone.
Oh, now speaking of the Detroit game, that is for all the crap that Quantum Break caught for being the type of game that it is. Detroit kind of falls into that category and actually is more narrative based. So it's almost as if it was that I'm trying to remember the game. Um,
It's
Heavy Rain, Heavy Rain. It looks like it's gonna be like a Heavy Rain on steroids type setup.
but
The game looks fantastic though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
that's the type of game that Quantic Dream makes. They make those narrative type games. They make those multi-branching type games. Those are the type of games they've always made, like since the beginning, since Fahrenheit, or what they call what is the alternate name of, or in, as it's called in North America, Indigo Prophecy.
Mhm.
Like those have always been the types of games that they've made. They've not made like serious types of action games. And
Mhm.
it's like, okay. And while I admit they're great games, I love the stories that they tell, like Fahrenheit,
Mhm.
Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. Great games, great stories.
Mhm.
They're what you would call interactive movies.
Mhm.
However, they're
But
not
that's not a game. Then it's to me, it's not a game.
like they're not games that you would want to push to the forefront as like, hey, buy our console because of this game. It's like, okay, you're telling me a great story, but if you're gonna try and sell me a console, I want something that I can genuinely play and
Now,
interact.
yeah, the hypocrites are gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, that's not a game. That's not a." Or Microsoft wasn't focused on games, but this Detroit, it looks like an interactive movie. I'm not gonna be a naysayer because I'm probably gonna play it. That I like that kind of stuff.
I'm sure I know I'm gonna play it, but I'm just saying it's not something that you push so heavily
Mhm.
to get people interested in your console. It's like one of those games that people organically gravitate to. Like, I'll tell you another game that's sort of like it. D4, sort of like that.
Okay. Now, T-Risk is putting Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, Indigo Prophecy, and Omnicron.
Yeah,
Prom?
those are their games.
Okay. So I haven't played the other ones. I had a Heavy Rain for a little bit, but I let my cousin take it and never got it back. But well, all things considered, I'm telling you, if this game gets rave reviews,
I'm sure it will. Like, their
yeah, that's
games.
gonna be messed up for what happened with Quantum Break. Like they ripped that game a new
Well,
one.
there's a difference between uh the Quantic Dream games and Quantum Break. Like, Remedy is known for telling great stories within their games, but their games are also very, very gameplay based, and that's what
Yeah, like
people,
Alan Wake.
yeah, that's what people judge them on.
Okay,
Like
got it.
they judge them on the gameplay, and while I love Quantum Break, I would give it an 8 simply because of the control scheme. The control scheme is very floaty.
Yeah.
It's a very flawed control scheme.
Yeah, I even said that when I was doing the playthrough. I was just like, oh, okay.
But games like Detroit, Become Human, Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, Fahrenheit, aka Indigo Prophecy, they're not very gameplay heavy games. Like, you don't have to have gameplay skill to play those games. So it's going to be judged on a different basis.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. But I mean, with all things, I mean, this is gonna be all right. But the one thing that got me, the audience, they were getting hyped for somebody playing a single player game. They're like, oh, what should I do? Do I do this? Do that? Like, oh my god! Like, oh, they were doing like,
I found that that was kind of fake.
yeah. And now, you know, Max and a couple of people like, who did Sony pay to cheer for this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, the game is gonna be good, but you know what turns me off with games? Overhype. Like, look what happened with Fable. Like, they overhyped that game, and then it actually hurt itself. Now, this game, you know, you have people like, oh my god, or Death Stranding, like they're getting so like, what are you getting hyped for? He
Well,
just took a footstep, you know,
to,
and then
to a degree, I can understand the hype behind Death Stranding because it's a Hideo Kojima game. And to Hideo Kojima's credit, I've never been a fan of his storytelling style, but
okay,
the gameplay in his games are always top notch. So
hmm
I can understand the anticipation behind Death Stranding because
hmm
at the very least, no matter how confusing that story can and will possibly be, because this is Hideo Kojima, and I call him the Yui Bowl of video games in terms of story making, the gameplay will be great. That's
okay,
never been my knock against him.
okay,
So I can understand the hype for that because he has a proven track record of phenomenal, great playing games.
okay,
For Detroit Become Human, those games that Quantic Dreams make, they're great stories. They look great for the time that they're made in,
hmm
but they don't involve a lot of gameplay. They're very choice. They're interactive movies. They're multiple branching interactive movies.
hmm
And
yeah,
I can understand people being into a good story, but it shouldn't generate the same amount of hype as say a Death Stranding, where you know the developer and the director of that game has a history of making great playing games.
okay, okay. Now, you know, as we draw this to a close, um, overall, like from what you heard of the PlayStation experience, I mean, they were trying to say with Death Stranding that that was like what the game is actually going to look like. I don't know about that because it looked like
Well,
the vaporware stuff.
when they showed off Metal Gear Solid 4, people was like, the game can't look that good, and it did because Hideo.
What, Guns of the Patriots?
Yeah,
Because
like
I
they were
remember
like,
it looked downscaled in comparison to what we thought was gonna come
they were
out.
like, no, the game's not like that. That can't be Metal Gear Solid 4, and ended up looking that good. So I don't doubt that Death Stranding looks like that. I don't doubt that that's not a game in-game engine.
Okay.
So another thing that I want to touch on briefly is
Mhm.
like they're hyping the HD remake of Shadow of the Colossus.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but that game to me is one of the most boring games I've ever played in my
Well, what,
life.
Shadow of Colossus?
Yes.
Some people are gonna disagree with you, bro. They're
I
gonna
know a
come.
lot of
They'll be
people
off
are.
with his head.
I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me on that, but dude, it is literally a boss rush game. There is nothing. That game has no content other than fighting 12 bosses.
Well, Cuphead almost became like that until they delayed
No,
it
but they
and put
have-
levels.
Yeah, but they have the running gun stages, which thankfully breaks that up. That
Yeah,
is
but
what-
that wasn't originally in Cuphead. They actually put
I
that
know.
in. Yeah, you know. So
they tested it and they found like, dude, this is a boring game when you fight nothing but bosses. And like you can look at the influence that Shadow of the Colossus has had on other games like Castlevania Lords of Shadow, where there are similar bosses to those that are found in Shadow of the Colossus.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that is not the only thing you do. The fact that this is the only thing you do in this big ass game makes it such a fucking boring game. It's a beautiful game, like the controls are nice, but it is a boring game and it just does not hold my attention.
Damn. Well, I mean that's honest, you know. But how can I say I'm indifferent when it comes to it because you know those of you who are watching the stream and will see the archive on YouTube. Do you agree or disagree with Free Play Mode's analysis of Shadow of Colossus? You know, all gamers are different. So I know my cousin Goken86 will definitely be like, Demiso, you know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, and it's not just it's their games. Period. They make these artistically profound, beautiful games. Team Ico does, but they're just so fucking boring. And in the case of The Last Guardian, so fucking infuriating with the fucking control scheme of the beast and everything.
Now, let me ask you this. There was this hype around The Last Guardian, and when the game came out, I don't hear much about it anymore.
You cut out. Repeat that?
Yeah. I noticed with The Last Guardian, there was all this hype for Last Guardian, and I don't hear anything about it anymore.
Because the game, it just plays so bad. Like playing the game will test your patience. I guarantee you will throw a controller playing that game. Like,
wow.
I played it over a friend's house, and I literally had to replace a $50 patch of drywall because I threw his controller into the drywall.
Dude. No comment.
Thankfully, the controller didn't break, but I owed him, like, he's like, I gotta go to Home Depot and buy some drywall.
I wish you had that recorded. That would be funny. All right. Well, you know what, Demizzle, in the chat, it's like the games aren't long, by the way. You know,
they're not. They're not long. They're just fucking boring.
All right. Now, with that being said, New Gaming Order audience, we are bringing this to a close for the sake of time. I do want to thank everyone for participating. I want to thank Free Play Mode for joining me. If he does that show on the Street Fighter 5 thing and how that, like, you know, I'm all for it, brother. You know, but please rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on New Gaming Order on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all the other social media outlets in between. And I want to thank everybody that's in the chat, from Shin Raven to T Risk, Slinky Gem. Love y'all for supporting. And Demizzle, you have any closing remarks before we sign off?
Yeah, just want to thank you for having me on, letting me rant a little bit about various subjects. Definitely tune in to my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/freeplay mode, all one word. Also check out the Facebook page, also Facebook.com freeplay mode, all one word. And follow me on Twitter at dmanforlife8017 to keep up with the latest news of what I'm doing.
Awesome. So, without further ado, I typed it on the overlay screen. So, Free Play Mode on YouTube. Check him out. You know, so he's a reoccurring guest on the show, and it's always a pleasure to do business. So, with that, we're gonna sign off. I'm the man, the myth, the juggernaut, aka Alex Lexus, hitting you with the head crush. So, Mitches and Mitchettes, we are signing off. We'll see y'all later. Peace.